In late October 2025, in the East African nation of Tanzania, the countdown to a national election devolves in a period of chaos and tragedy. Reports are emerging of mass protests, security forces on the streets, road shutdowns, and curfews imposed. Perhaps most alarming, opposition figures claim around 700 people have died in a matter of days. Meanwhile, the unrest is spilling across the border into neighboring Kenya. This documentary takes you inside the turmoil, the causes, the actors, the human toll, and asks, what does this mean for democracy in East Africa? Tanzania has been ruled since independent by the party Chama cha Mapinduzi Party, CCM. The current president Samia Suluhu Hassan sought election in October 2025 under a cloud of controversy. Main opposition figures were disqualified or jailed. One high-profile example is Tundu Lissu, whose party was banned. Critics warned the election would not be free and fair. As voting began, protests erupted. On election day, police and military presence escalated quickly. In the commercial city of Dar es Salaam, the government imposed a curfew from 6 p.m. onward. An internet blackout followed, shops and schools were closed, roads blocked. The protest spread beyond Dar es Salaam to towns such as Arusha, Mwanza, and border regions. Demonstrators accused the government of orchestrating a one candidate election. Security forces responded with tear gas, rubber bullets, and in some cases, live ammunition. The Office of the United Nations High Commissioner of Human Rights, OHCHR, said credible reports indicated at least 10 people killed by security forces. The opposition party in Tanzania claims the true death toll is around 700 people in just 3 days. These numbers are unverified by independent observers. Some international bodies cite much lower figures. What is clear is that the unrest has spilled over into Kenya. In border town Namanga, protesters from Tanzania crossed into Kenyan territory to escape crackdowns. Kenyan side businesses shut down, cargo and passengers stranded, and Tanzania's police reportedly lobbed tear gas canisters over the border. For Kenyan traders and residents, the disruption is real. We are not able to operate businesses because of the elections in Tanzania. The tear gas is hitting us on this side, said one trader. Beyond the numbers that human lives altered, hospitals in Dar es Salaam reported large influences of wounded patients. In Kenya, traders and transport workers find their livelihoods disrupted. The one-stop border facility could not process cargo and passengers, leaving trucks stranded for hours. Families hesitate to speak on camera, fearing reprisal. Young protesters chant, "We want our country back," but fear of escalation and heavy security linger. In Nairobi and elsewhere, the regional ripple effect is already being felt. Trade, travel, communications all impacted. The UN office has voiced alarm. "We are alarmed by this and injuries that have occurred. At least 10 people killed," it said.
Reports we have received indicate that at least 10 people were killed in Dar es Salaam, Shinyanga, and Morogoro as the security forces used firearms and tear gas to disperse protesters.
Human rights groups caution that the information blackout and curfew may hide the full extent of casualties. Some voices in the European Parliament describe the election as neither free nor fair. Regionally, Kenya is watching with concern. The spillover into its territory raises questions about cross-border security, trade, and refugee flows. The East African community will likely need to address the wide fallout. Several factors contributed to the crisis. First, the near elimination of serious opposition candidates undermined the credibility of the election. Secondly, the heavy-handed security response escalated protests into violence. Third, the government's shutdown of communication restricted transparency.
Slow. They must promptly reinstate access to the internet and facilitate citizens' full enjoyment of the rights to freedom of expression, association, and peaceful assembly.
For Tanzania, the legitimacy of the ruling party may be in question. For East Africa, trade, movement, and diplomacy are threatened. The spectre of large-scale casualties raises alarms about human rights and governance in a region once praised for stability. As the curfew holds and security forces remain on the streets, Tanzania and its neighbors face a defining moment. Will the claims of 700 people dead be investigated? Will justice and reforms follow? For the residents of Dar es Salaam, Namanga, and across the region, The questions are urgent and profound. In the end, elections are not just about ballots, but the promise of dignity, voice, and accountability. When the promise is broken, the ripple effects reach far and beyond one nation's borders.